Very good afternoon, my dear children. I am L.K. Tripathi, your SST teacher from LPM Public School, Gulabazar, Gorakhpur. Dear students, before starting discussion, I want to say one more important thing, that the chapter first of civics, what we studied for last 2 days, that is actually not the part of your syllabus, that is from out of your syllabus. I taught you simply just to define about the democracy, to provide you the importance of democracy, what is the importance of democracy in your life, and all that. Actually, your syllabus now begins from here, that is chapter 2, what is democracy, why should we have democracy. It starts from here, so you have to prepare your all the records, PC, class room activities, that is not going nowadays, PC, and your fair copies must be glorified in this way. And from here actually your question answer and all the activities will take place. So now let's get started. What is democracy? This is not chapter 2, but it will be considered as chapter first, because chapter first, from very beginning of the chapter first, is not the part of your syllabus. This, what is democracy, why democracy, this get started for your syllabus, and you have to prepare your task from here. So before starting what is democracy, we must try to understand some point related to this chapter. As previously in the last chapter we have studied political situation prevalent in some countries of the world. What was the condition and situation in the world that those days? We have studied how some of non-democratic countries change into democratic nation. In the last decades, like for example, you studied in chapter first 2 examples of democratic and non-democratic. First was Chile, second was Poland. So in Chile and Poland, different types of rulers were there. Somebody was elected democratically, and others were not elected by the people, they were elected undemocratically. Means you can say dictatorship was there. So what was difference between two these? Two these means about democracy and non-democracy. Which one was the popular form of the government, the simple and in easy way we can say the democratic system was always better and is always better nowadays also. So we must support this type of government, this form of government. I mean the government elected by the people democratically. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about the major features of the democratic type of government and what makes it better than other form of government. इसको कौन सा और भी बेहतर बनाता है अदर फॉर्म ऑफ द गवर्नमेंट. So in simple way it has been explained that in the democracy all the people participate their powers to elect the representative. We can say democracy is a form of government in which the rulers are elected by the people. People are the supreme in this form of the government. Now this simple definition can be used by us to separate democracy from other form of government that are clearly non-democratic. जो भी डेमोक्रेटिक वे में नहीं चुने जाते हैं, अनडेमोक्रेटिकली चुने जाते हैं, दे आर ऑलवेज नॉन डेमोक्रेटिक एंड दे द अनफेयर मीन्स ऑफ रूल. Like the military ruler of Pakistan and Myanmar are not elected by the people. People have no right to elect them. Like the king of Kuwait and Saudi Arabia, they are also not chosen by the people. They are hereditary. So that means all these are non-democratic countries. In this way we can say there is no democracy in Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, North Korea, Pakistan, China, Jordan. These are such countries, there is no practice of democracy. So these are the things, two things about this chapter. We can say the simple definition of democracy given about is not adequate. ये adequate नहीं है. This simple definition helps us to conclude that every government that holds an election is the democracy in a democracy. But this is not true in real sense. There are many countries these hold elections, but still they cannot be called democratic. Many countries are there in the world, really. Elections are held, but they are not democratic. Why is this so? Just to understand this fact, we will learn to examine the whole definition carefully, and will have to learn and study about the features of democratic government. To know more about this, we have to go in deep to understand all the facts related to this matter. Yeah. For example, government based on the will of the people and decisions by the elected leaders. This is the real means of democracy. Democracy is based on the will of the people and it functions according to their consent. The supreme authority is the people of the country. जिसको चाहते हैं उसको किंग बना देते हैं, जिसको चाहते हैं उसको जस्ट दे मेक देम डाउन. This is the reality of the democracy. See here, now other word described as non-democratic. Can you recall for each of these countries something about the government that were described as democracies? Just take the example of Chile. Chile before and after Pinochet rules. Which type of government was working in Chile before Pinochet? Augusto Pinochet, you studied in chapter first, was the dictator of Chile. And before that, a democratic government was functioning in Chile under the chairship of Allende. You can say Allende was very, Salvador Allende, his full name was very popular and acceptable ruler of Chile. Poland, after the fall of communist rule, कम्युनिस्ट के शासन के बाद पोलैंड का क्या हुआ? कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी वाज देयर, वेरी मच इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय यूएसएसआर, बट आफ्टर ऑल a referendum was made there. Poland's communist party was abolished and democracy established in Poland also. Ghana, in the early period of Ruma's government, घाना की कंडीशन क्या थी? तो इसमें हम डेमोक्रेटिक एंड नॉन डेमोक्रेटिक गवर्नमेंट की कंडीशन देखते हैं. व्हाट डू यू थिंक इज कॉमन टू देम? व्हाई डू वी क्लब देम ऑल अंडर द लेवल ऑफ डेमोक्रेसी? What is it that distinguishes these governments from Pinochet rules in Chile? Communist rule in Poland or the later period of Ruma's rule in Ghana. What do these governments have in common with the military rule in Myanmar? Why do we say that these governments are not democratic? So we can say these governments mentioned above were not elected democratically or by the people of the country. That's why we can say these type of rules were unfair. They were not accepted by the people of their country. That's why we can say clearly these governments are not democratic. On the basis of this analysis, write down some common features of democratic governments, non-democratic governments. The important questions come before you and you have to write descriptively about democratic government and non-democratic government. Prepare your PC and write 6 lines at least about these two types of government separately. Why define democracy? डेमोक्रेसी को डिफाइन क्यों किया जाए? बिफोर वी proceed further, let us first take note of an objection by Mary. Before going ahead, there is an objection, absolute objection by Mary. She is a student of 9th class and her teacher is standing before her in the classroom, and after not getting satisfied, she dares to raise some question before the teachers to know the clear concept of her confusion. And this is good. All students should have this type of mentality. The concept or the clarity of any question or anything should not be left incompletely. You must get clear knowledge, complete knowledge about the confusion which comes in your mind. So Mary is also such a student. She wants to eradicate all her confusions related to democracy. What is her question? She does not like this way of defining democracy and wants to ask some basic question. What the teacher defines about the democracy, she is not satisfied and she has some question to ask. Her teacher, Matilda Lingdorf, responds to her questions as other classmates join the discussion. All the students are there in the classroom. They support Mary and they also want to ask some question to their teacher. Teacher is ready to answer their questions. So now let us find their question. Mary. First Mary is asking, other students are supporting her. Ma'am, I don't like this idea. What idea? The idea of defining the democracy. What the definition is given by teacher, this idea is not liked by me. First we spend one whole chapter discussing democracies in different parts of the world, and then we want to find out the meaning of democracy. The first chapter which we have discussed already, though that is not in your syllabus, just for your knowledge I taught you 2 days to understand the importance of democracy. So whole time went, she meant to say, to understand about the democracy. But what is actual meaning of this? I mean logically, should not we have approached in the other way round? क्या हम लोगों को जो है तार्किक रूप से दूसरे वे में डेमोक्रेसी को नहीं अप्रोच करना चाहिए, इसको नहीं जानना चाहिए, इसको प्रैक्टिस में नहीं लाना चाहिए? Should not the meaning have come first and then the example? Means the meaning of democracy पहले नहीं आना चाहिए, उसके बाद इसका एग्जाम्पल देना चाहिए. पहले डेफिनेशन आ रहा है फिर एग्जाम्पल पहले एग्जाम्पल आ रहा है फिर डेफिनेशन आ रहा है. Why is it so actually? Her madam tries to resolve her problem and tries to make her satisfied. I can see your point. I understand your point clearly, but that is not how we reason in everyday life. We use words like pain, rain और love. जैसे हम पेन को हम यूज़ करते हैं वैसे हम अपने वर्ड्स को यूज़ करते हैं. रेन और लव को, रेन या लव हो, जैसे बारिश हो या प्रेम हो, इस तरह से हम लोग. डू वी वेट टू हैव ए डेफिनेशन ऑफ दीज वर्ड्स बिफोर वी यूज देम? Means before talking anything, any words, should we keep some definition in your mind? She means to say, because without definition the world is meaningless. Come to think all of it, do we have clear definitions of these words? It is only by using a word that we understand its meaning. Means what the words we use, the words simply indicates that this is the meaning of the words. कि जो हम बोलते हैं जो शब्द को वो अपने आप में बता देता है कि इसका मतलब क्या है. उसमें फिर वेयर इज द क्वेश्चन ऑफ डेफिनेशन. मेरी बट देन वाई डू वी नीड डेफिनेशंस एट ऑल. तो हमें ऐसे डेफिनेशंस की क्या ज़रूरत है. व्हेन वर्ड्स आर इनफ टू अंडरस्टैंड द मीनिंग ऑफ एनीथिंग, वाई शुड वी हैव डेफिनेशन, वाई शुड वी नीड डेफिनेशन टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स. लिंगदो मैडम क्या कहती हैं. वी नीड ए डेफिनेशन ओनली व्हेन वी कम अक्रॉस ए डिफिकल्टी इन द यूज ऑफ वर्ड्स. इसलिए हमें डेफिनेशन की ज़रूरत इसलिए पड़ती है जब हम किसी भी कठिनाई से पार पा जाते हैं ऐसे शब्दों को यूज़ करके. मीन्स इफ़ यू टॉक इन रॉट वे, in unfair way, the meaning of the words will express what type of ideas in others' mind, you know very well. So in other way, if you want to solve any problem by using your words, so to impress the society or person, there should be some accurate definitions in your mind to prove it that this is fact and this is fair. Meaningless, definitionless words have no value and that is not impressive. So in this way, Madam Lingdo wants to make Mary understand. Now Rebyang, one next child is there, also puts question. But why do we need to work on a definition? The other day you quoted Abraham Lincoln to us. Democracy is government of the people, by the people and for the people. तो हमें डेफिनेशन के लिए इतनी मशक्क़त क्यों करनी है, क्यों हमको डेफिनेशन लेना चाहिए. जो सिंपली यू टॉट अस इन लास्ट डेज, यू कोटेड द अब्राहम लिंकन्स वर्ड, डेमोक्रेसी इज गवर्नमेंट ऑफ द पीपल, बाय द पीपल एंड फॉर द पीपल. ये डेमोक्रेसी लोगों के लिए है, लोगों के द्वारा है और लोगों से है. ऐसा क्यों? जब when it is simply clear, why should we take this much definitions and we should go unnecessarily in broad way. We in Meghalaya always ruled ourselves. That is accepted by everyone. Why do we need to change that? In Meghalaya, our society is enough. In the society in which we live, we all follow our own rules and regulations. We rule ourselves. Why should we accept other type of rules and regulations? We live freely. That why do we need to change that? हम इसको क्यों बदलना चाहिए? All these things are there. So further we shall come to know more about this chapter in the next video. Till then, goodbye.